Love Ki Ghanti 1. You can't decide when it rings. Written by Mr. Deepak Satya. Chapter 72. Security or Imprisonment. Papa, please turn the car, Prashant said. Father immediately turned the car. Hey, the station is on that side, I won't go by bus. Mother said in tension. Maji, please stay calm for a while. I am already in tension. Prashant said pleadingly. Mother turned and looked at him, surprised as she was asking through her eyes, if what you are feeling is called tension, then what will you call what I am feeling? Prashant responded to his mother's reaction by folding his hands. Mother turned away in irritation. When tears came out of her eyes, his father's mood deteriorated. He informed his son by staring at him. One of my friend's sisters had a small work in the university. She was going there all alone, so she asked me for help. I said yes, but I don't know how I didn't wake up in the morning. Now that girl is missing. I am angry at myself. Even many years ago, when someone needed me, I did not wake up due to a fever. Mother, I have not been able to recover from that shock to date. If anything happens to that girl today, I will never be able to forgive myself. This is how Prashant expressed his truth to his parents, almost crying. Hearing Prashant's words, the parents were stunned. A few years ago, the mother had also forbidden her brother to give alcohol to her noble son. Last night she had also forbidden her husband from giving alcohol to Prashant in the name of medicine. Mother cried and looked at her husband with complete anger. Father was so ashamed of himself that he could not look at his wife. Tears welled up in his eyes, and he lost control of the steering of the car for a few seconds. Prashant's car narrowly avoided a collision with the motorcycle coming from behind. Seeing death closely, the motorcyclist got scared and stood aside for some time. Then with trembling hands, he picked up the helmet hanging on the handle of the motorcycle on which "Love You Papa" was written. Why didn't you tell us earlier? The worried mother asked her son. Because her caste is different. If I had told you, you would not have allowed me to come. Prashant said, almost shouting with extreme sadness. This time mother felt ashamed of herself. Father placed his hand on mother's hand and told her that whatever we did was done unknowingly. Have we found that girl now? Father asked while increasing the speed of the car. Maybe, I just wish she is okay. Prashant replied. On hearing this, mother started calling Bhagwan Krishna for help. Babita needed help, but she needed help that Prashant had not imagined. 15 minutes later, Prashant's family reached outside the park. Fardeen came running to them. Is Babita here? Prashant asked. Yes, she is the one. The canteen boy is also inside. Fardeen replied. Is she okay? Prashant asked. Can't say for sure, but right now the ambulances have gone and Babita has not been taken in them, Fardeen said. Prashant got down with difficulty and started going inside the park. The police are not letting us inside. I had tried, these people are planning to file a case. Fardeen said hesitatingly. What case? Prashant asked. Rape attempt. When Fardeen spoke softly, Prashant trembled. Is she okay? These words came out of Prashant's mouth with great difficulty. I don't know, but they didn't take her in the ambulance. Maybe she is okay. Fardeen said, giving courage to Prashant. Did that canteen boy? Prashant asked angrily. I don't think so. Both of them will be together when the people of this car, said Fardeen, showing the car with black windows. Prashant immediately recognized that car. Then Prashant's father came there. Prashant told him everything. Not only did he get angry, he was also worried about Babita. This girl will be trapped like this. If her family found out that she was in the park instead of the university, they would definitely kill her, said father. If Babita's parents came to know about this, uncle and aunt will stop her studies. Came out from the mouth of Prashant, who was frightened after hearing his father's words. That female police officer is an SP, She is adamant that she will file a rape attempt case and get the culprits punished, Fardeen informed. Raju, who was inside the park, explained to Shiv that this would spoil the girl's life. Her family members are old-minded and will stop her from leaving the house. When Shiv understood this, he explained the same thing to the Lady SP in a better way, but she was not ready to understand. How will the police catch the culprits when there are no case reports? You people keep saving your prestige in society, and these sinners get the license to commit sins again. SP had silenced Shiv by saying this. It would have been better if I had killed those rascals. Then only I would have been involved, Shiv said angrily. Raju was one of those men who had always advocated that it is only when women remain silent that criminals get the chance to commit crimes again. If women complain regularly, criminals will spend half their life in jail, which will automatically reduce crimes. That day, Raju understood deeply why poor women remain silent even after suffering crimes. The male-dominated society does not have the courage to provide a safe environment for women, but they do have the courage to confine women within four walls by making 1,000 excuses. If Babita had followed the advice of the female SP and registered a complaint to the police, then Garikpal and Ashish would have been given definite punishment on the charges of attempt to rape as well as attempt to murder, because there was an abundance of evidence and witnesses against them. But as momentarily as this happened, society would say that what was the need for the girl to have fun in the park with her boyfriend? Had she been a girl from a good family, she would not have left the house without work, and this incident would not have happened. Babita's parents would also beat her and ask her, "Why did you go to meet the boy? If you have gone today, you must have gone earlier also. You will also become pregnant and will ruin our lives." Amidst all this, no one would have asked the question whether Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev had accepted the death sentence only to help men get independent Bharat. Don't women have the right to roam around their country as per their wishes? Don't women have the freedom to roam alone, without the company of men? Will women have to get permission from the Supreme Court even to meet their friends? Hey, what if a girl goes to meet her lover? Hey, this country is hers too. What kind of poor security system is this which scares decent people, and asks them to hide in their homes and gives freedom to criminals to roam freely? If the Lady SP is right, then how is Babita wrong? The tears in Babita's eyes, who was still present inside the park, had dried, because she was convinced that the female police officer would behave as per her wish. After that, the rest of Babita's life would be spent at home like her sister, until her parents were freed from their responsibilities by forcing her to marry a drug addict, just as they forced Babita's aunt. Shabnam was in confinement for 5 years. Now who knows how many years Babita will have to remain in confinement. Babita had accepted defeat, but Raju was still struggling. Suddenly Raju saw Prashant. Seeing him, Raju remembered Darshan Bhaiya. He immediately called him and asked for help. Hearing Raju's words, Darshan felt horrified because he had never experienced anything like this in his life. He immediately called Sunita and told her the whole thing. "First of all, you stop being nervous," Sunita said sternly. "Hey man, think about that girl. That poor girl is being tortured from all sides," Darshan repeated his concern. "Nothing like this will happen till we are here. I will reach there with Professor Shalini, you also reach with Raghav," Sunita said, becoming stronger. Darshan agreed to Sunita and called his best friend and told him to be ready, "We have to go somewhere." In about a quarter of an hour, many of Babita's helpers reached outside the park. They all got scared after seeing the reporter. News traders do not care about anyone's feelings, they only want spicy news. There was much spicy news available to them that day at that park of Dehradun. Under the leadership of senior university professor Shalini, all the women gathered together and forcibly entered the park. Prashant's mother took care of Babita like a daughter and encouraged her, while the rest instilled the most important things in the lady officer's mind. "This poor girl's career will be ruined because of your stubbornness. You want to end crime, but due to your stubbornness, this poor girl's golden life will end. Are you giving protection to this girl or giving her life imprisonment? When Professor Shalini said this emphatically, the Lady SP was shocked. The female officer looked at Babita in panic. She realized her mistake and went to her. I am sorry, I scared you, whereas our job is to give you protection and boost your morale. By saying this, the Lady SP explained to Babita why she was an officer. The hallmark of officers is their humility. They accept their mistakes more easily than the common people and apologize equally quickly, whereas the common people remain entangled in their small egos. By openly admitting her mistake and saying sorry, the Lady SP set a practical example for others to behave properly. You are such a lucky girl, there is a whole army of fans standing here who love you. The female officer said again. Babita stood up. She looked around. People protecting her were standing everywhere. The amazing thing was that she did not know anyone except Raju and Prashant. At that moment, that daughter from a poor family realized that she belonged to society. If the society stands up for all the daughters, then none of us will remain submissive, Babita said softly, which the lady officer heard. The female officer came to Babita and patted her shoulder and assured her that she would always be there for her. She wanted to give her personal number to Babita, but Babita did not have a phone. Then she gave her number to Raju. Please call the reporters. When the Lady SP said, the constables gathered all the reporters in a corner. Then SP Madam made everyone realize the seriousness of the matter, and requested them not to do even the slightest reporting about this matter. Understanding what SP said, everyone started deleting the footage from their cameras, and those who had written on the paper burnt the papers in front of SP. A national media reporter did not do anything like this. Seeing this, a famous local crime reporter came to him. Revealing his identity, he said, the people of Noida may have immense reach, yet they will not be able to find your body from the trenches of Uttarakhand. What do you mean? It came out of the national reporter's mouth due to nervousness. Whatever Madam just said appeared many as information, others as order and many as advice. Whereas she has only been given a warning from her side, said the local crime reporter. When the national reporter looked sideways, he found that the policemen were watching him carefully. He immediately deleted the videos from his expensive foreign mobile phone, showing them to the policeman. Darshan took Raju to the doctor in his car, and Sunita took Babita with her. After improving Babita's condition by going to the university, Sunita and Professor Shalini went to drop her at her home. Baya, you don't need to come, Raju said to Darshan. So how will you explain your colorful face to uncle? When Darshan asked laughingly, Raju understood that Darshan Baya was not giving him a lift, but was saving him from the scolding of his family members. Darshan had called Raju's father from outside the hospital. He just told them not to ask Raju anything about this. He did not disobey the advice of Darshan, but he could not stop himself from coming home before time. Pitaji and Darshan together convinced Ma Ji by telling a story that Raju was not at fault in the accident in which he met. For the next week, Raju the gentleman would discover a lie in the films every time he looked in the mirror. Raju's face remained swollen for more than a week, whereas in films even after being hit with an iron rod, the hero's makeup does not come off. With his swollen face, his parents brought him to Haryana to seek the blessing of Pir.